everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. You guys, today we are going to be building a brand new house in The Sims 4 using the expansion pack from ForRent, and I am so freaking excited. You guys, I was having such a hard time even trying to figure out what I even wanted to do. I was looking through all the photos that I had of when I actually went to Thailand with my mom about like 3-4 years ago. Oh my god, has it been that long? I think it's been a while, but I really loved Thailand, you guys. I also went to like Vietnam as well, and I was telling my mom that I wanted to move there. It's just so beautiful and the culture is absolutely incredible. Ho Chi Minh City was very hot. I was sweating like a sinner in church. I was so warm. And but when I went to Vietnam, I don't know if it was in Vietnam or somewhere in Thailand, in Halong Bay, I think. It was a little bit cooler, which was really nice. And the mountains, you guys, are so beautiful. So I absolutely love it. So I was like looking through all my photos and I'm like, okay, like what could I probably make or something, but I'm not too sure what to do. And then I just kind of figured that I just do something from scratch. So I just started playing around with some of the walls and the colors. And at first I didn't even want to like continue on with this build. Usually I have to trust the process, and this was definitely a trust the process type of build. Usually I will go through like 4 different things before I even like come up with something, and then I'll start recording, so you guys don't even really see like a lot of the things that I do. If I did, it would take way too long. I think my most recent video before this was like almost 38 minutes, and I usually don't make videos that long, so I don't want you guys sitting around and watching all these things, and it would be too long, especially if it's just something that I'm trying to build in the moment and then I scrap it. Like, I don't want to do that to all of you. But how are you guys liking the pack? Like, I just did a review, my honest review about it, and I kind of did a little walkthrough. So if you guys want to check that out, that will be in the previous video from before. So if you guys want to check that out, I will have that linked in the description, or if your girl can even remember, she'll put it in the top right corner. But you guys, I actually really liked it. The pool was something that was definitely different, a little bit outside of my, I don't know, my comfort zone. But I mean, in order to grow, you gotta get out of your comfort zone, right, girl? So like, I decided to do that. I haven't done that kind of style of thing where you place things down first and then kind of like build around it, like do some weird shapes. I haven't done that in a hot minute. I used to do that a lot when I first started to build here on my YouTube channel, and your girl felt a little nostalgic to come back. So, and it's so funny, people will tell me, they're like, oh my god, like you're good at building. I'm like, thanks. I never used to be though. I still feel like I'm learning every single time that I get on this game. Like, I have been playing since, oh god, what is it? I've been playing since Sims 1. But like, it wasn't my game. Like, I used to sneak out and like steal my mom's computer with my sister when she was sick, and I used to play like the Sims 1 and Sims 2 on it, but I was really young. But I didn't really start playing until like Sims 3. So when did you guys first start? I love it. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed the Sims 3, but I mean, the Sims 4, you can't go wrong. There's so much stuff. Obviously they had some hurdles when it first came out, but they added stuff in, and I'm just happy that they did. I am sorry. Oh my god. my I don't even know what this is called, a wire or something. My like charger just like fell off my desk, and oh my god, it scared me. I'm so jumpy. I hate like the thought of like ghosts in my house, but not hate. Like, if I know them, I'm good. But sorry, we just went into like a weird subject in this conversation right now. Ghosts freaks me out. But you know what's crazy? My boyfriend, he doesn't like, he's kind of iffy about ghosts, but he believes in like a second dimension. I'm like, okay. I'm like, do you think that ghosts maybe are a little easier to believe? I don't know. So, but anyway, to the build, you guys, I love this. I love the way that it turned out. There are 3 floors to this guy. I didn't do the very third one, just because I figured, I was like, there's really nowhere for me to put the stairs. Once you see what the second floor looks like, it doesn't really work. So I just kind of left it blank, but it's up on my gallery. I named it the, what is it? Halong home. So it will be anything, like any of the descriptions that you guys need or the information that you need to find my builds will be in the description down below. but I tried to add as much stuff as much activities that made sense as much as I could on the lot. It is for like the biggest lot in there. I'm really sad that there wasn't like bigger lots. And I was kind of mentioning this before on my review on my most recent video here. I was talking about like how when I went, there was huge temples like around me where you would go in and take a look, and even like the old ancient ruins and stuff like that. Like, I'm surprised that they didn't make bigger lots. I know that they used it to be mostly about making condos or making complexes or making hotels or something. Like, not even hotels. There was like probably one lot, and the one that I'm making right now would be like the best for something big like that, but we don't have a lot. I'm surprised we didn't even get a 64 by 64 lot, even especially considering the fact that, what was it, Strangerville? It's almost the same size, I think, or is the same size as Strangerville, and that was a game pack. So I was kind of confused as to what happened, but I mean, I love the world. It is so absolutely stunning. It is beautiful. It gives me so much happy nostalgia just because I loved, like, my favorite trip so far, probably that I've been on, is from like Thailand and Vietnam. Those places are absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. And it's kind of weird that I'm making a non-Christmas build. It feels weird. At least from where I am, we are getting snow now. But it was like 10 degrees yesterday, which is really weird in December. But I mean, you know, global warming and all that fun jazz. We love it. Oh gosh, I can't, but it is so snowy where I am, which becomes a big problem when I'm driving like to work. And now story time for you guys. If you guys are new, hi, how are you? My name is Jamie. I'm also known here as Simspiration here on YouTube, and a lot of the time I will talk. I'm trying to get better at talking in the videos. I'm not that good at it, but I usually tell you guys about the stories that I have, and right now I am probably moving again. I have talked to you guys before this, talking about how my dad wants to move. Now your girl might be moving, and so I am looking around for some jobs around where my boyfriend is, because we are starting to get, you know, like, we're starting to talk about it. Like, we've been together for 5 years now. We're trying to like figure out where we want to go. He just got a good job, but he's looking again. Like, he's always looking, you know. And I found one that's like 8 minutes away from his house. You know, and it was so funny because when I went there, I got in and I drove like an hour and like 45, almost 2 hours to like where my boyfriend's house is. I went in and I saw him a little bit before he went to work, which is nice because I haven't seen him in like a while. So I went to go see him for like 15 minutes, and then I went to my interview. Now, as soon as I got like into the parking lot, which was literally like down the street, because his house is like around everything, like, it's so nice. Like, I wish, like, I love living out in the middle of nowhere because it's out in the middle of nowhere, but I love the fact that like they're close to everything, which is so convenient, and it's also dangerous. Chat time near me, oh, my wallet, oh god, but I have to be careful. But anyway, I started driving, and I just go down the road, and I get to the place, and I like park in the parking lot. And so I'm like looking around. I'm like, okay, I have to go into like near this office building, try and see like, I don't know where to go, but I think I found the place. So I like walk in, and this guy like behind me is like walking behind me. He's like obviously coming into work, and he's young, like I probably like in his teens or maybe early 20s, I'm not too sure. And he was like vaping behind me too. I was like, wow, sick bro, you're cool. But he like came walking behind me, and I was like, okay. And I opened the door, and he's like, oh, thanks. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. Like, just walk in. And there's a girl at the desk, and I say like, hi, how are you? I'm just here to like come in for my interview. And so she's like, oh yeah, like who do you know, like who's doing the interview? And I was like, oh, I think like his name was Will. And she's like, oh yeah, that guy that you just walked in with, he's gonna be interviewing you. And I was like, what? I'm sorry, what? This kid is interviewing me. I'm like, okay, shoot, okay, the guy who's literally interviewing me, I just opened the door for. That's weird. Okay, no worries. So I like go over and I sit down, and you guys, this place is like so fancy. And I'm like sitting here, and I'm like, oh my god, like I feel so out of place. Like I actually wore clothes that were nice, and of course Oh my God, you guys. Of course, I wear something nice and I actually have something decent to wear. And then I go home, and since the cardigan that I was wearing is like knitted, the string came off of it and now it's like completely like totaled. And I was like, what the heck? So I had to go get it like hemmed or fixed or knitted. I don't know. But my stepmom, like, she knits, and I like went over and I showed her, and I was hoping she was gonna be like, oh, okay, here, I'll fix it, because she used to do that when I was younger, but she didn't say anything, so I was like, oh. But I like went in and I like sat down, and I'm like sitting here and I'm waiting, and then this girl comes over and she like sits beside me, and I'm like, okay, like, I mean, there was so many like seats around, and she just kind of like sat beside me. I was like, girl, I'm like, out of all the places, you got to sit right next to me. Like, she was like almost like touching arms with me. And this place was massive, but I was like, okay, whatever, you know, it's fine. So the guy comes in. And the guy that I opened the door for, he comes in and he's like, are you here for the interview? And he looks at both me and her, and we both go, oh, yes. And I was like, oh, this girl's also with me. I'm like, oh, okay. I did a double interview before a while ago, and it was really awkward. I didn't like it. So I was really hoping that wasn't the case, but he was like, okay, who's here first? And I was like, I mean, I came in with you, but she wasn't here, so I guess I'm first. And he was like, great, okay. And then he like came over and like shook my hand, like good handshake. He came upstairs and like he was like, oh, did you find the place okay? And I was like, oh yeah, I found it pretty good. I'm like, oh, my boyfriend lives around here, so it was kind of easy to find it. But obviously without him knowing the context, I'm sure it was kind of like, what does that even mean? And then I told him, he's like, oh, so like, are you from around here? And I was like, oh, no. I'm like 2 hours-ish away. Like, I'm up north. And he goes, oh, okay. And then he like paused, because like, obviously when you first like, you're like, oh, okay. And then it kind of like sunk in. You could see it like go into his head. And he's like, wait, hold on. He's like, you drove 2 hours here? You live that far away? And I was like, yep. And he's like, you drove here for like a 10-minute interview just to go back home? And I'm like, yep. I think I was like, yes, sir. He was like, what? But like in my head, I was like, one, I really need it because one, it pays good. Two, they're doing good things. And then also like three, like it's where my boyfriend is. Like it's, you know, I need something. So I like went over and I guess it shows like initiative, right? Like I want it, I guess. So that's kind of good. Make me stand out a little bit possibly. So we go upstairs and we just do like literally it said from like 11:30 to 12:30 to 1, and it literally took 10 minutes. He asked me like 3 questions. I was so nervous. I feel like it's oddly more nervous when it's closer to someone my age. And I was like talking to him, and then we were just like chatting, and then I would go, you know what? I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, can I be blunt? I'm like, can I ask you your age? You look quite young. And he was like, he kind of giggled, and he's like, yeah. He's like, well, how old do you think I am? And I go, I'm like, I don't know. You got a deep voice, but your face is young. I'm like, oh, maybe what, 25, 26? And he was like, I'm 19. And I go, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, he's like, I was so thrown off. And, because he's younger than me, and he was like, okay. He's like, well, I guess it's only fair for me to ask you your age then. And I go, well, I'm 23. And he was like, oh. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, what? So it was really strange, but I was like, no, I mean, like, good for you. I'm like, because like that's the thing for myself as well, is like to see someone young who's sitting there like interviewing people, like you can see that there's room to grow even if you are young, you know. Like I was impressed. So I was like, okay, well, good for you, man. Like that's awesome. But it was quick, so I was kind of nervous. So they said like after it was all done, he would like call me back like later, like that night or like the next day. And I was like, okay. So I left, and he thought it was really funny because he's like, I can't believe like you're gonna just drive home now. And I was like, yep, that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. Like that's That's all I need, because I told him that I'm relocating. Like, I did express to him that that is what I am planning to do. So I would be able to, and my boyfriend's parents said that they would be okay with me living there until I, like Alex and I, we find somewhere to go. And that was super sweet of them. I was super grateful. And so I drove home and I told everyone, and then they called me back later that night and they wanted to schedule for a second interview. So probably when you're seeing this, it happened on Wednesday. So I don't know if you're gonna see this on Thursday or if you're gonna see this on Wednesday. If it is Wednesday, wish your girl luck, please. And if it is on Thursday, then I guess you guys will have to find out what happens after. Hopefully it wasn't 10 minutes, because if I have to drive another 2 hours just for another 10-minute interview, I'm gonna kick someone. I'm gonna kick someone. I think I will. Like, honestly though, like that would be a sick joke. They just brought me there just so they could be like, haha, let's make her drive all the way out here. So I don't know, like, I'm excited. And I think that entire night, like when they called me back for a second interview, I was happy, but I was also like really nervous, because I'm like sitting here, I'm like, oh God, I'm like, I'm gonna have to move if I get this. Like, I didn't want to jinx myself and I didn't want to like say anything, but like, girl, I'm like, I'm kind of nervous. Like, I don't know what, and it's not like not living with Alex is making me nervous. It's just the moving part scares me. Like, I have a bunch of friends who I work with, and one of them moved from like Nigeria over to Canada where we are, and then one of my friends was over in like this other place in Canada, and she moved over here. Like, she lives like 8 hours away from her family, and I'm just like that's definitely got to be hard. Like, and I was talking to them, they're like, no matter if it's like 1,000 miles or 10 miles away from your family, like, it's still kind of like iffy, right? So I don't know, I think especially like me living in such a small town and always being in such quiet areas, and then moving over to the city, if that's what I'm going to be doing. I always wanted to live in the city just because I'm just close to everything, and that's like where I can find like voice acting opportunities and go explore and like do all these things. Like, there's mostly like everything's around there, but like where I am, I'm like, I feel comfortable. Like, you always want to stay comfortable where you are, right? So I don't know, it's kind of a learning process. I was thinking of maybe even vlogging my experience, like for Alex and I trying to find a place. Like, I don't know, I'd like to do something like that, like have a separate channel for vlogging, because I would love to do travel vlogs. I love to travel, you guys, and I think it would be kind of fun. Like, I would like to see how I do, and just like packing and moving like my whole life to like a new place. So I don't know, if you guys are interested in that, maybe let me know, and I can maybe start a second channel or something just for vlogs. I know that a lot of you come over for my Sims builds or my stories, but if you guys start getting closer to everyone, like, if you really like my channel, or you like listening to my stories, if you like me as a person and you want to see more, honestly, that would be such a wonderful like feeling I would have. I would be so blessed if you guys actually wanted to do those kind of things with me. Even though we are still really, really, really small, but I want this to be like my full-time job at some point, and then maybe do some voice acting stuff on the side, girl, because I'm taking a course right now, and my boyfriend and I, when we was like, okay, because I didn't go to school, I didn't have money for it. Like, my parents showed me the value of money. I didn't have those things. My sister was in debt like a lot for school, and she just paid it off recently. Like, that scared me. So, when I was talking to Alex, he's like, well, I need you to find a better job, or like at least by May, maybe going to school, and he can help me. And I felt super bad about that. So I was like, no, I don't want you to help me with that. So I was like, okay, let me look around, or like focus on something. So I want to focus on voice acting and see how that goes until then. But one job just popped up, and hopefully it goes well. So again, fingers crossed. I hope it goes well, but I'll let you guys know. And yeah, I am so excited. Oh, also, I know I'm jumping from jump to jump, but I'm also doing a brand new room challenge for December. So if you guys want to check that out too, I have the rules and everything on my community posts here on YouTube, or you can check out the Instagram account that I have. It is on the pinned I guess the pinned picture on my profile. You guys can check it out there, and that will show you like everything, all the descriptions, all the rules, and then you can find it up on my gallery. And oh, here, let me go into the build. All right, you guys, so we just made it into game, and this is my build all up in its beautiful glory. I am just so in love with it. I love the way that it turned out, and I hope that you guys like it too, but it is available up on my gallery. It's just called the Halong Home, with all my gallery ID and my name will all be down below. But I'm excited. Okay, so here, let's just go over to the front and I'll show you guys what we got going on. So we have the front, obviously the driveway, and I just decided to put on like some little hopscotch, maybe a bike. We have the tuk-tuk over here, and then this is gonna be the front porch. This is just deceiving. You can't go anywhere unless you want to like maybe take care of your plants or something. But I loved these on the wall, and I decided to put them all around the pillars because I just thought like it added something, and I just thought it was so beautiful. I also have like the little lanterns over here, and then the little mailbox, and then these guys are all debug items that you see right here. The debug stuff, like the plants are beautiful. I loved it. I actually kind of giggled when I saw this plant in particular that you can see like right here, because it kind of looks like a plant that we already have in the game, and then they just kind of stuck it to a vase, which I thought was kind of funny, but it's still beautiful. I love it. And then we come over here, and I figured this is just somewhere where your kids could like play marbles with their friends or something like that. And then say if you're running down the stairs, you gotta have something to catch you just in case if you want to go for a dip. Probably not the safest way to go in, so I just decided these are all debug, the lights that they have going on in the city. And then we also have like a floaty with the tigers, and then this thing. If you guys watched my review, my first ever review of this pack, you know that I was like drooling over this, so I wanted to add that into the pool. It's kind of floating, but like don't worry about it. And then we go over here, and you can see my default sim that I just like bring. So I have her over here, and I just have some like little knitting, maybe a table where you guys can all sit and hang out. You got your chess table, and then again, I wanted to drag all those plants that we have that I also use for my Thailand builds. That one, my Thai temple, the first one I did before the pack came out, a lot of this stuff, a lot of these plants were already in our game from other packs, so I decided to use those. Coming up here, you can see we also have, let me just bring it down, we have this little spot where you can sit and enjoy some sugarcane tea. I didn't even think that I was gonna make it like a sitting area like this. I was gonna try and put a bar here, but then I just decided not to. It gave me like really like resort vibes, and I just didn't want to stick with that. And then coming over here on this side, we have a spirit house right over here, and then you come over to this side, and we have like the really fun roofing that I love to do. I find this so much fun, and it gives your like builds so much more like dimension. So coming down over here, we also have the new hot tub and the water heater. I figured maybe they have a cat, so I just added like some cat stuff because I never use those cat stuff, and I just wanted to this time. And then we come over here, and we also have like somewhere where you can dry off your clothing, maybe do some planting. Another spirit house over here, and these beautiful windows that they decided to have this one open, just keep these guys closed. And at nighttime, you guys, this place is absolutely beautiful. You'll see on my, I think on my thumbnail it was during the day, but at nighttime it just gives me like a whole different vibe. Like it is so beautiful, you guys. I love it, with all like the mountains in the back too. Like those are legit the mountains that were the way that they were like in Halong Bay. They were absolutely breathtaking. But this whole thing just looks so pretty and beautiful at night. I tried to add in those little lanterns that we got in default. The first floor, I will start with how I started doing the speed build. So I started off in the kitchen. I just kind of figured out, because I had no idea the way that this floor plan was gonna go, and also the way it was gonna look. I looked up a photo, and I kind of got some inspiration from that, from like the background, just like the stone. I didn't come up with that by myself. I saw that they used stone on the back, so I wanted to add that in. And then we also have like some beautiful things that we were using from like Snowy Escape, but also a lot from the new pack, of course, and the fishing. Like I just wanted to add some like little fish. Maybe they were like, they liked fishing. I wanted to try and also make like a floating market, because there is a floating market there in Thailand as well. And I saw some debug items that had some of those boats. So maybe we can do that maybe in the future. So stay tuned for that. But also this is just like the nice random little living room. I didn't want to make it too small, but obviously like I feel like you'd be doing a lot of your stuff outside. So we have a little TV over here, and then moving on, this is the dining room. Well, I guess like the little breakfast nook area, and then that's the dining room over here. But I love this little like spot with like the elephants. I wanted to try and utilize those as much as I could, just because they are so beautiful and so grand. And then I used this guy from Snowy Escape, I believe, or the Realm of Magic, I think, I'm not too sure. And then this is going to be like your main dining room. When you have a big party with your family, or you want to have a huge potluck or something, this is the room that you're going to do it in. I have obviously like a little bathroom in here. Oh, I don't have a light in here. Keep that in mind. You might have to put a light in here. Sorry. My bad. But you have a bathroom right here. And then going upstairs, this is up on the first floor. Now the first floor, you're gonna see this huge scroll that's right here too. And that is absolutely beautiful. And I keep forgetting to do the walls, like the ceilings here. That's an absolute must, honestly. So when you come down, it's brown. And it kind of ties itself more together. But it comes up here, you have this nice little seating area. I wanted to use these are for the curtains, but I wanted to put them around the walls. I just thought that it added a little bit more, and I just thought it was a pretty nice, like, cute little touch possibly. So this is one of the bedrooms. It's very nice, it's very simple, but I think it has some cute like little vibes to it. And then coming over here, this is I would assume probably like the master bedroom. Trying to utilize those lamps too, because those guys give off some pretty good like lighting, which I actually really love. And then coming over here, we have the other bathroom connected, and then a kid's room with like the elephant bed. I love that we had the elephant bed, and like I don't remember what pack that was from. I think it was from the Growing Together one, or high school years. And then we also have some toys, maybe your little tiger. And then over here they can play with some marbles or watch TV too. Like they got a TV in their room. This kid's spoiled. I'm assuming maybe this person works from home. Like they have such a big house, they gotta have some like stay-at-home job, right? So I decided to have that in here with all the bookcases. I actually really like this room. I think it turned out actually really cool. And then over here we also have like a easel if they want to paint. And then coming outside on the door here, this is where you can sit and eat and chat outside, where you maybe cook some food. And then over here on this side, this is also somewhere where you can sit and relax. And then upstairs there is literally nada. There is nothing, but I love it. I really hope that you guys like this video. I'm sorry if this did become a little bit longer than I hoped for, but I am just obsessed with this house, and I hope you are too. I absolutely love it. So if you guys, again, maybe please consider like, commenting, and subscribing. Stay tuned for some of my new videos that are going to be coming out, or take a look at some of my old ones. And yeah, I will see you all later. Okay, bye guys.